Hi, I'm Randy Boyd with Boyds Gunstock Industries. Whether you're an experienced pro or a novice, here's a few tips on how you can finish a gun stock and make it look like it came directly from the factory. These are some of the items we'll be using with this project: a straight edge, a series of sanding blocks, extra sandpaper, and a true oil finishing kit. For the flat surfaces, I'm sanding parallel with the grain with the large sanding block. This helps prevent rolling the corners like in the butt plate area and keeping a flat surface. You can use your straight edge to check your work from time to time. For radius areas, I use a round sanding block. In some areas it's not practical to sand with a sanding block or sanding dowel. Here you can sand by hand. Example would be in the wrist area and up on the fore-end tip. In areas where the wood needs to be sanded down to the metal, such as in this floor plate, I've taken a sharp pencil and drawn a line all around the outside of the plate. I'll remove the plate and then come back with a small sanding block and carefully remove the wood down to the pencil line. Once you've completed sanding the entire stock with 80 grit, then step to a 120 grit and repeat all the same processes. When you're complete with 120, I would go to a finish sand of a 180 grit. Now that the sanding's complete, we're ready for finish. I remove the butt plate and taken the debris off the exterior of the gun stock with a soft brush. Avoid using rags until after the first coat of finish. Rags can snag the laminate and cause small chipping. I'll start by applying a very liberal coat of true oil to the entire gun stock. This includes under the butt plate as well as in the inletting. Now that I have the first coat completed, I'm going to hang the stock for 15 to 20 minutes. This will allow the finish to penetrate into the grain. Now we're ready for the second coat. On the second coat, we're going to apply a liberal amount of true oil again to the entire stock. Okay, now that I have my second coat applied, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 180 grit sandpaper and I'm going to wet sand the entire gun stock in a circular motion. What this is going to do is this is going to disrupt the top surface of the gun stock or the sawdust, and it's going to mix it with the finish. This will assist in filling the pores of the gun stock. As you're wet sanding, you may come across areas that appear dry. All you need to do is add more finish in that area and continue wet sanding in a circular motion. Once you're done wet sanding, you can take a soft rag and wipe off any runs that are on the outside of the stocks. Look for pooling in the inletting, because this can affect the final fit of your action into your stock. Now we want to hang this up and allow it to dry for 24 hours. After the finish cured, I found some imperfections in my sanding and dry spots in the finish. So I repaired the imperfections and, following the same procedure, re-wet sanded the entire gun stock. Now we're ready for final sanding. For the final sand, initially I'm using a 320 grit sandpaper and then we'll finish with the 400 grit. Be certain you don't break through the finish to the wood. Now that final sanding is done, I'm using a tack rag to remove any debris on the exterior of the stock. For this project I want a satin finish, so I'm going to continue using the true oil. If you want a high sheen for your final finish, I recommend using an aerosol spray. For the final finish, I'm applying a thin coat of true oil to the entire gun stock. I'm applying it in a linear direction. Now that's sweet. Now we let the finish cure and we're ready for final assembly. And that's about all there is to it. Now, if you're like most of us, it's bragging time. I'm Randy Boyd with Boyds Gunstock Industries. We're here factory direct for you. Thank you for watching.